presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
It's a Saturday night in San Francisco. September baseball on center stage tonight. It's the fight for postseason. D-backs tonight can tie a franchise record with their 9th straight road win. And it's a headline pitching matchup for you here. Zack Greinke facing Madison Bumgarner. Welcome to D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from AT&T Park and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. D-backs looking to make it 2 in a row here over the Giants and clinch a season series win with San Francisco. And Bob, if they can do that, they will have won every single season series against every team in their division.
That's kind of the goal, isn't it? You know, if you want to win your division, you have to beat the teams within your division. Now, the Dodgers have done something this year that's unprecedented, but the Diamondbacks should be very proud of what they've done against the National League West opponents. As you mentioned, a victory tonight over the Giants. That'll guarantee a season series victory over the Giants. And they've actually, with a win tonight, have gone 3 games over 500 on the road against the West, which is not an easy thing to do.
And J.D. Martinez is back in the lineup tonight and playing right field. The first pitch is coming up. Greinke and Bumgarner, the D-backs, and the Giants on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Earn rewards 10 times faster than ever before with the card by Gila River Casinos. Sign up for the card today. By Jazz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Jazz. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack. A home run for your mouth. By Dodge. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. By Gigablast Internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run. At Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. By Phoenix Raceway. See Dale Jr.'s final West Coast race at the Can-Am 500 November 12th. Tickets at phoenixraceway.com. And by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM. Welcome back to San Francisco. A glorious night here. Very nice. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. It's the D-backs and the Giants. Second of a 3-game series. Diamondbacks have won 19 of their last 24. And a win tonight would move them a season-high 25 games over 500. Here is the lineup for Los D-backs. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
David Peralta once again leading off tonight, moving back to his customary left field position. Chris Iannetta will be batting second, doing the catching. A.J. Pollock out in center field. Paul Goldschmidt cleaning up at first base. J.D. Martinez, a welcome sight, back in the lineup tonight in right field. Brandon Drury will be at second base. Adam Rosales at third base. Christopher Negron at shortstop tonight. And right-hander Zack Greinke on the mound.
It's the left-hander Madison Bumgarner on the mound for Los Gigantes. 3-5. These numbers seem unbelievable. How about 3-8 with an ERA over 3.5? He's lost his last 3 starts. What's going on?
Well, I'm not quite sure. You know, you look at his numbers, the pitches that he's throwing in ball games. He used to throw a lot of 4-seam fastballs and complement it with a cutter and a curveball. Now he's throwing lots of cutters and complementing with that curveball. So maybe a change in philosophy out there on the mound for Madison Bumgarner since coming back off the DL.
Missed nearly 3 months after that dirt bike accident back in April. David Peralta leads it off, and we're underway on a Saturday night in San Francisco, and Peralta lines the first pitch of the ball game into center field. It's a leadoff single for David. That ties his career high for base hits in a season, set 2 years ago. Nationwide Vision Centers gives us a look at the Giants defense.
That's Mac Williamson. He's over in right field tonight. Denard Span in center. Jarrett Parker in the left. It'll be Ryder Jones and Brandon Crawford on the left side of the infield. Joe Panik, Pablo Sandoval on the right side. Buster Posey doing the catching, and left-hander Madison Bumgarner on the mound.
Chris Iannetta. Fastball's a strike. Chris, 249. He's got 14 home runs. He had 3 hits, including 2 doubles in his start behind the plate Thursday in the win over the Rockies. Misses up with a fastball. It's a ball and a strike. Nice night here by the Bay. Still warm, at least right now. 6:06 local time.
Yeah, kind of odd to see Chris Iannetta wearing shades. The entire field, with the exception of the batter's eye in center field, is in the shade right now. Maybe getting some glare off that batter's eye.
Do have the lights on at the ballpark. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's what he's looking into, that glare. Time now, BB, for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, this used to be a joke back when I was in high school. Don't go away, mad bum. Just go away. Yeah. He's coming off an outing when he got banged around by the Chicago White Sox. Gave up 6 runs on 10 hits in 5 innings. Drops a called third strike in there on Iannetta for the first out of the game.
A.J. Pollock batting third tonight. 264, 10 homers. A.J. had the game-winning hit last night. That 2-run double down the third base line. He's got 10 RBIs in his last 3 games. Run on to first, and Peralta's back in time. AJ versus Mad Bum. It's advantage Diamondbacks.
Well, that was the day the Giants came to Chase Field dressed like traffic cones. They had those bright orange hats and sleeves. That was on Players Weekend, wasn't it? I think that was. Yeah.
Been a weird year for the Giants and Madison Bumgarner. They are 3-12 this season when he starts. Didn't think you'd ever hear that.
Nope.
As they try not to become only the second Giants team ever to lose 100 games. Slow breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
I think Bumgarner would be the first one to tell you he hasn't pitched up to his own expectations this year, but you will occasionally see this happen when a team is kind of going through some changing of the guard, if you will. A lot of young players up here at the end of the season because of the kind of year the Giants have had. Not always easy to compete under those circumstances.
Doubled up on that pitch and gets his second consecutive strikeout.
Yeah, the slower curveball. It serves the purpose of a changeup. He has a changeup in his arsenal, but rarely uses it. He chooses to go with that big, slow curveball instead.
Paul Goldschmidt, 309, 34 home runs. Singled and struck out twice last night. He's hit safely in 3 straight games. This is blasted deep to left center field, and that ball is gone. Goldie's 35th, 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Oh, man, was that ball hit hard.
Smoked to left center.
I was talking with Todd on the pregame show about getting off to an early start against Mad Bum. This is a good way to do it. Hit the ball in the seats with a runner on base. Oh, that ball was toasted out there to left center field, well back into the bleachers.
Well, this has become a pattern with Madison Bumgarner. That's a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Mad Bum had given up 6 home runs in 18 innings in his previous 3 starts. And Goldie adds to that list. This is sky high off the bat of J.D. Martinez, panic calling for it in shallow center. And he's got it, but the Diamondbacks strike first. Home run number 35 for Goldie. 2-0 D-backs. D-backs the early 2-0 lead. And your Ram truck starter for the Diamondbacks tonight, the right-hander Zach Greinke. 16-6, a 2.99 ERA. That is 6th best in the National League. Zach is unbeaten in his last 4 starts.
16 career starts against the Giants, a 10-2 record with an ERA just a tick over 2.5.
Giants lineup is presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Denard Span leading it off in center field. Joe Panik will be at second base. Jarrett Parker out in left field. Buster Posey cleaning up, doing the catching tonight. Brandon Crawford will be at shortstop. Pablo Sandoval over at first base. Ryder Jones at third. Mac Williamson will be out in right field, and Madison Bumgarner can swing that bat in the 9-hole.
Denard Span leading off. There's his strike. Span 269, 12 home runs, a career high. He flied out against Archie Bradley as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night. Boy, the sound of the crack of the bat on that Goldie homer still lingers in the ballpark. Made that Goldie sound. Good start here. Goldie chatting up with first base on Pat Hoberg down there.
Now, Goldie's no dummy. Pat Hoberg is going to be working the plate tomorrow.
Plant a seed. Ben May, the plate umpire. That fastball missed. 1-2. Zach disappointed either in the call or the fact that Span didn't offer it that pitch. Looked like he missed it. Ben May back there. Lifted in the air, right field. J.D. Martinez. It's up in that wind, and he's got it on a warning track. Diamondbacks defense brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Peralta, Pollock, and Martinez left to right across the outfield here tonight. Rosales and Christopher Negron on the left side of the infield. Brandon Drury, Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Chris Iannetta doing the catching for right-hander Zach Greinke.
Joe Panik batting in the 2-hole again tonight. 287, 10 home runs. A pair of hits last night. He doubled and scored a run. Missed away, and it's 1-0. Zach Greinke and Madison Bumgarner have started games against one another 4 times previously in their careers. And Greinke's team has won every time. As he makes his first start this season here at AT&T Park. He's not pitched yet this year here. Ball and 2 strikes. Zach has faced the Giants only twice this year. Once, of course, opening day at Chase Field. Got a no decision in that one. Diamondbacks won it on that Chris Owings walk-off. And then Zach didn't face the Giants again until August 25th, which was 4 starts ago. Also at Chase Field. He went 6 2/3, got the win. Look out. Right back up the box and into center. A 1-out single. No, Panik is hot right now. No Hunter Pence in the lineup tonight. Pence had to come out of the game last night with lower back spasms, so it's Jared Parker playing left field and batting third.
Yeah, Hunter Pence had a heck of a night. Dove for a ball in the gap in right center. Had to go straight back on a ball in right field. Had a collision at first base on that play when Goldie tried to feed Robbie Ray. He was all over the ground last night.
He kind of took a beating. But as Bruce Bochy was saying last night, that's just the way that he plays, regardless of the calendar or the standings in the division. Parker lined out to right against Fernando Rodney as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night. Rodney nailed down his 37th save, a 1-2-3/9 on 15 pitches. There's Hunter Pence. Crowded dugouts these days. Of course, there's no bullpens here at the ballpark, so that makes it twice as worse. 1-1. I mean, you can't find a place to stand.
Position players are a little funny about having relievers sit in the dugout during the game anyway. You know, relievers are a different breed. You'd rather have them separated from the rest of the team if at all possible. So yeah, this can create some uncomfortable circumstances in those dugouts.
Quarantine those guys. Tied him up inside with a breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
We're talking about Zach Greinke pitching in this ballpark. Of course, a lot of it as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers, but his ERA here at AT&T, the 4th lowest all time. Now, some names you would expect. Cliff Lee, a very good pitcher back in the day. Clayton Kershaw and Matt Latos.
Latos intolerant,
I guess.
Struck him out. First strikeout for Greinke. Parker strikes out a ton. Now they'll work to Buster Posey.
Yeah, even though he struck out the hitter, Zach Greinke not totally content with the way he's throwing the ball here in the early going. That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen him step off the back of the mound shaking his head no.
Posey 315, 12 homers. 0 for 4 last night. He struck out twice. We're talking about Greinke in this ballpark. Unbeaten career, 4-0 in 6 starts. And that ERA, which is near the top of the list, 1.66 ERA in 4 starts here all time. Many of those wearing Dodger blue. Dodgers won again today, by the way. They beat the Nationals. Cody Bellinger had another home run. Panic doesn't run a whole lot. He's got 4 stolen bases this year. Center field, Pollock. He's got it. Greinke strands the 1-out single after 1 inning in San Francisco. D-backs lead the Giants 2-0. Carissa Thompson, Tony Gonzalez, Dave Wannstedt, Colin Cowherd, Michael Vick have all the latest breaking news and updates you need to start your football Sunday. It's Fox NFL kickoff tomorrow, 8 a.m. Here it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Zach Greinke leading Madison Bumgarner as Brandon Drury leads off the D-backs second. Brandon hitting .263, 12 home runs. Did you ever have a boat when you lived down here?
Oh, no.
Oh, that you don't like to leave the shore.
No.
I forgot about that.
Or at least I like to be able to know if I fall out of the boat, I can swim to the bank. And that's not the case in the Pacific Ocean. So I didn't go out there very much.
The currents and whatnot.
Yeah, sharks.
Well, there's those two. The Sharks. Shallow center, Span coming in. Got a late break. He's on the run, and he makes a nice sliding grab. Denard Span in center. Kind of hung up there for him in that wind long enough to sneak underneath it.
Got a late start that time. Ball jammed Brandon Drury just a little bit. Span just kind of froze in his tracks, but then has enough speed to make up the ground. Nice sliding catch there for the first out in the second inning.
Ben May wants to check the baseball. The plate umpire. No, doesn't like it. Look at Mad Bum. What was wrong with that one? Adam Rosales, the third baseman tonight. Jake Lamb sitting this one out.
I played with and against some pitchers that could not have pitched today.
Why?
They relied on doctoring the baseball. And as we well know, I mean, balls only stay in play for about 2 or 3 pitches, and then there's a new one in play. Well, it's pretty tough to carve it up and make it do some funny things if you're going to throw a new ball into play every couple pitches.
I've seen umpires, while the pitcher was throwing his warm-up tosses before an inning, take the ball out if it hits the ground and throw it away.
Oh, yeah.
During warm-ups.
Yeah, and the catchers throw to second base after the pitcher's done warming up between innings. If that happens to short hop into the bag at second, they throw that one out. Anytime that ball hits air molecules, it's got to be thrown out of the game.
Some sharp air molecules might scuff the ball. Combination tonight of Rosales at third base and Christopher Negron at shortstop. Negron's on deck. Lamb sitting out against the lefty, and Ketel Marte just getting a day. He was going to get 1 day in this series. Torrey figured, well, might as well make it tonight. Day game tomorrow. 1:05 start. There's the skipper. His team, a win tonight would get them to 25 games over 500, a season high. It would also match a Diamondbacks franchise record, 9 straight road wins set under the Brenly regime in August of '02. On the ground to third, there's Ryder Jones, the rookie. Sandoval at first, 2 down. Here is Christopher Negron. 2 for 13 this season. The start at shortstop tonight. Negron had a pair of hits, including a double in his start at shortstop earlier this month. That was at Dodger Stadium. D-backs grew very thin very quickly at the shortstop position earlier this year when they lost both Nick Ahmed and Chris Owings. Ketel Marte was called up from Reno. No, he didn't go, Pat Hoberg. They added Adam Rosales at the trade deadline from Oakland. Brought up Christopher Negron from Reno. It's been all hands on deck at shortstop for much of the second half of the year.
Yeah, there's no doubt Ketel Marte has done an outstanding job of kind of settling down that position after all the injuries, but it's nice to know you've got guys like Negron and Rosales that you can run out there and play that position for a day or 2 or 3 if necessary.
Adams had some big hits this year, no doubt about that. Negron takes one right in the back. And Diamondbacks will at least clear the pitcher spot here as Greinke comes up.
Yeah, you see Buster Posey wanted it up, and that ball just chases Christopher Negron.
Ooh, in the wallet, more like it.
Right in the wallet.
Dave McKay coaching at first. As you mentioned, this is the way things have gone for Bumgarner lately. As Greinke steps in, Mad Bum Sunday in Chicago against the White Sox gave up those 6 earned runs. That was a season high for him. 10 hits in 5 innings against the White Sox. Prior to that, 5 earned runs in 6 here against the Cardinals. He gave up 3 home runs. And before that, beaten by the Diamondbacks at Chase Field near the end of August. He hasn't won in a month, Madison Bumgarner.
He's also given up 6 home runs in his last 3 starts. Tack Goldie's home run onto that, 7 in the last 4.
Becoming a thing. Just has not been his year. You can say that certainly for his team as well. Funny thing was, Mad Bum had allowed only 9 homers in his first 78 innings this year. Now he's given up 7 in his last 19. 2-1. Boy, it's just a gorgeous night here. The sun is starting to set. The wind is blowing out. Gentle breeze out toward right center for the moment. Beautiful night by the bay.
Very comfortable right now. Probably need a light jacket by the end of the ball game, which is not uncommon here in the Bay Area.
You can see Pat Hoberg, the first base ump, has got his jacket, gloves on, the whole thing. He's ready. Greinke hammers one into left.
Get away.
Parker cuts it off. Negron on a dead run stops at third, and Zach is in at second. Boy, he hit that ball hard. A double for Greinke.
Just jumped all over that pitch. Down and in, dropped the bat head on it just like a hitter would. Ripped it down into that left field corner. That's a pretty nice play by Jarrett Parker. That ball was hit extremely hard. Oh, man, that ball gets by, and we've got some action right there.
And Negron took a very aggressive turn around second, headed for third. Tony Perez-Chica stopped him there. And a chance to tack on two more here. Peralta singled on the first pitch of the ball game to start us off. Second and third, 2 outs. Swings at the first pitch here. David single, his first time up tonight. Base hit number 144 on the year. That matches his career high set 2 years ago. How about an exit velocity of 107 on the Greinke double? 107 off the bat.
We just need to work on that launch angle a little bit.
Well, the wind is, as it will all night long, I'm sure, is really picked up, blowing out hard now to right center field. The wind here is always a batter to batter deal. Changes all the time. Negron at third, Greinke at second. 2 outs, 1 and 2 on Peralta. Hopped it up, foul ground, third base side. Ryder Jones has room. Bumgarner strands 2, keeps it 2-0 Diamondbacks. Have the early lead on the Giants. D-backs fans, it's the fight for postseason. Don't forget, if you can't watch all the games on your TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app and take Fox Sports Arizona and Goldie and the Diamondbacks with you wherever you go. Just a lovely night here. A 2-0 lead for Zach Greinke as Brandon Crawford, the Giants shortstop, leads off the home half of the second.
Yeah, we got a special treat there between innings, partner. The Giants are celebrating the birthday of Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda tomorrow, and they brought him a big old birthday cake to the ballpark today, and we all each got a piece of it.
That's very classy. The
Very
Giants
nice.
always treat us well when we come in here. So having some, never thought I'd get to eat some Orlando Cepeda birthday cake, but here we are. There it is. This was just a few minutes ago, actually, right before the ball game. Willie Mays down there. Gaylord Perry. Willie McCovey. And of course, Rennell Brooks Moon, who is the voice of the ballpark here, Archie Bradley's favorite.
Yeah, Rennell actually serenaded Orlando with happy birthday in Spanish and English.
Remember, we were here in April and Archie did his Rennell Brooks Moon imitation. The great PA announcer here at AT&T Park. That was a funny bit. We interviewed Archie during spring training and I asked him, what do you like best about going to San Francisco? He said, oh, I love the PA announcer. And then he did a great imitation of Rennell. There she is. She is tremendous. One and two on Crawford, who was 0 for 3 last night. He struck out twice. Crawford is slumping. He's in a 1 for 17 right now. Giants just kind of counting the days. They have lost 3 straight games and 15 of their last 20. 8 losses away from a 100-loss season. Bruce Bochy. They have 13 games left. Think about that, as nearly all of the Giants' remaining games are against likely postseason teams, the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Dodgers, and then they finish up with the Padres. And Bochy was saying after the game last night that, yeah, they would like to avoid losing 100 games. Nobody wants to lose 100. And they'll be doing anything they can do to make sure that doesn't happen. But the odds for the moment stacked against them. Iannetta hangs on to the foul tip, and Greinke gets his second strikeout.
Looked like that hard changeup took just enough off to get Crawford out in front. Cued it right off the end of the bat into the mid of Chris Iannetta for the first out.
Now we get a look at Pablo Sandoval. 194 and 6 homers. His bat has vanished like a midnight snack. You thought maybe it's there, but then you go look and it's disappeared. You like what I did there?
I do. I like it a lot.
Well, I mean, he is in, brace yourself. We mentioned this last night. Pablo Sandoval right now is in a 2 for 54 slump. 2 for 54. That's hard to do. And in the middle of that, a slump that is ongoing, keep in mind, a stretch of 0 for 39.
Oh my.
39 at bats, the longest hitless streak by a Giants position player since 1900.
And talking with people with the Giants, they say he's earned that batting average too. I mean, it's not like he's making hard outs or hitting the ball right at people. He is just mired in a horrible slump.
35 games with the Giants this year. Released by the Red Sox just after the All-Star break. He signed with the Giants a few days after that, after saying a lot of bad things about a lot of people on his way out the door here in San Francisco, but all that was kind of swept aside and they welcomed him back, but it just really hasn't worked out all that well. Giants decided he was not worth a long-term investment despite of everything he'd done for them. 3-time World Series champion here. He was MVP of the 2012 World Series. 39 career postseason games. He had 344 in the postseason for the Giants, but he wanted to get paid, and they thought that might not be a great investment.
Well, and given what's happened since that transaction, you'd have to say the Giants were pretty wise in their move not to bring Sandoval back.
Absolutely. Red Sox gave him 3 years and $52 million. And they're eating, if you pardon the expression, most of that money. 4 in a row set down by Greinke. Here's Ryder Jones. And here's another guy that's slumping, the rookie Ryder Jones. 183's homered twice. But he is just 2 for his last 20 up there. And he has been striking out a whole bunch lately. D-backs have the shift on. They'll leave Rosales all by himself on the left-hand side as Negron slides over. First base side of second. And when you're 2 for 20, you're often finding yourself in an 0-2 hole.
I was just thinking that, you know, when you're scuffling at the plate, you're always late on fastballs. You're always guessing wrong. You think you're going to see a breaking pitch. You take a fastball right down the middle. You anticipate a fastball down the middle and end up chasing a changeup in the dirt. Always battling from behind.
Jones has struck out in nearly half his at bats since the middle of last month. 23-year-old rookie. Second round pick by the Giants 4 years ago out of high school in Boone, North Carolina. Lays off that one and it's 2-2. Mac Williamson up and down from the minors all year long. On deck. Greinke 30 pitches, 21 for strikes. Swing and a miss. Ionetta's got to find it. Chris picks it up and throws him out. 3 strikeouts for Greinke. He set down 5 in a row and leads it 2-0. Wrong.
Well, you've got a captain. He has a hat to prove it.
That's right. Nice shirt. Hey, fans, watch the Drive to the Pennant, MLB.tv, every night, every device, the whole thing. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live and get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Oh, captain, my captain. Chris Ionetta leads off the Diamondback third. Chris struck out looking his first time up. And now that the sun has set a little bit, Chris has exchanged his sunglasses for those clear goggles. Very fashion forward, Chris Ionetta. Chris is batting .345 in his last 17 games. He's been crushing it lately. 3 home runs over that stretch. It's that one hard. Backhanded by Crawford at shortstop. He can really pick it down there. One of the best in the business, Brandon Crawford, 1 out.
Yeah, not only can he really pick it, but a strong, accurate throwing arm from a variety of different angles. That time had the luxury of really getting up on top and unleashing a four-seamer across the infield. Took a quick peek to see where Iannetta was and then winds up and fires his best fastball to Sandoval for the out.
A.J. Pollock, a strikeout victim his first time. Had a whole bunch of slow curveballs from Mad Bum. A.J. has doubles in 5 straight games. 5 games in a row with a double. And if he gets one tonight, he'll tie the franchise record held by Connor Jackson. Trying to bunt his way on. Bumgarner's on it. A little trouble getting it out of the mitt, but he throws him out. 2 down.
Good idea for Pollock. Just got it a little bit too close to the mound that time.
This was Goldie in the first.
Mad Bum can't field this one. Our Cox high-speed highlights Goldie with a 2-run blast in the first inning to spot Zach Greinke and the D-backs to an early lead.
And it had that sound. You could hear it there. His 35th of the year. RBI number 114 and 15. That home run by Goldie, an exit velocity of 111 off the bat, is 3rd highest on a home run this season. That's from our stat man Bo, who's laid off the fish jokes tonight.
So far.
Another backhander here for Crawford. Yeah, don't hold your breath. We'll hit the bottom of the 3rd. D-backs lead the Giants 2-0. Francisco. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. Tomorrow, ride along with Jody Jackson as Jody drives Andrew Chafin and Zach Godley to work. It's a brand new episode of D-backs Driven In, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Sunday at 4 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Arizona.
I love the idea of it, but
Everybody's buckled up.
A lot of camo in that car.
Well, they don't want to, in case there's an accident. I'm not sure what that means, but everybody was buckled in, and Jody did seem to be paying more attention to the road than she was when David Peralta was in the hot seat.
If she was paying any attention to the road, it was more than when David Peralta was white knuckling that trip.
Mac Williamson hits that to 3rd for Rosales. 6 in a row retired by Zach Greinke. So that'll be the latest episode of the D-backs Driven In, brought to you by Sanderson Ford, right after the game tomorrow, 4 o'clock on Fox Sports Arizona. It's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Although for those two guys, it would have seemed more appropriate to shift the truck into 4-wheel drive and take it out in the desert somewhere. Get off the pavement.
Those guys basically just live off the land.
Pretty much.
Madison Bumgarner got to be careful as always with Mad Bum. Where is Todd?
I'm right here.
Oh, what are you doing? You're behind me.
Present.
I'm told you have more on this episode of D-backs Driven In.
I do. I don't want to get away from this at bat if something should happen, but I do have some breaking news.
Uh-oh. Is something broken? Rosales one more time at third.
There you go. On tomorrow's pregame show, I did have a chance today to talk to Andrew Chafin about that ride and sort of a 60 minutes gotcha type situation.
Well, that's your style. Very confrontational, in your face.
Right for the jugular.
Yeah. You Mike Wallace him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Like a bolt of lightning, right, Bob?
Yeah. Lightning.
Apparently, there was some, I hate to say this, but some damage to the vehicle.
What? Uh-oh.
You know, driving around with red limeade things and.
Oh, okay. So Jody didn't bang into anything.
No.
All right.
No. Interior. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking cosmetic damage.
Yes. I asked Andrews several times in a variety of ways he would confirm it, and he sort of did. That's tomorrow.
Nice teaser.
Okay.
They retire Span. 8 straight set down by Greinke. 2-0 D-backs. 5-pitch inning there. Diamondback 4th inning. Fans, a new giveaway alert. This is an item you will want to get. We will commemorate JD's record-tying 4 homer games September 4th. First 10,000 fans in attendance next Saturday the 23rd. Get a JD Martinez 4 homer game t-shirt. That is the front of the t-shirt you see there. The design with the distances and all 4 JD homers at Dodger Stadium. Get your tickets now, dbacks.com. First 10,000 fans with us next Saturday, September 23rd. The Marlins are in that weekend. And here is JD. Popped up to second his first time up. 39 home runs, the new career high. 23 of those have come with the Diamondbacks. Late scratch just before the game last night. A stiff neck that Torrey told us today. It actually started back home in Arizona. He was feeling it a little bit on Thursday. Had a home run in that game, but they thought, well, it'll be cold tonight. The neck hurts a little bit. Let's give him the night off. So he sat out last night. They won anyway.
Well, judging from batting practice today, it's not bothering him too much. Boy, did he put on a show today.
You have been talking about the idea that he might hit the water for a couple of weeks now.
If he gets the right pitch in the right zone, we've seen him backspin balls to right field that carry like a left-handed pull hitter. I'm sure the water is well within his reach. Just get your pitch.
Struck him out. Martinez 0 for 2. Third strikeout for Mad Bum.
J.D. Martinez had a little history against Mad Bum from his days with the Houston Astros. A couple of home runs against the Giants left-hander, but right through a high fastball that time.
Brandon Drury flying out to center his first time. More of a pop-up, really. Darn Span made a nice running sliding grab. There's a strike. D-backs lead the season series with the Giants 9-5 with 5 more to play. 2 more this weekend, including tonight. And then 3 games at Chase Field starting a week from Monday. As we told you in the open, if Torey Lovullo's ball club can win tonight, they will clinch a season series win against not only the Giants, but against every team in the National League West. That's impressive. You go head to head with every single team in your division 19 times a year, and you win every season series. That's a good year by any stretch.
Yeah, really good year. I mean, especially considering what the Dodgers did. They kind of made a laughing stock out of the National League West race, but the Rockies and the D-backs have been going head to head for a long time. I mean, for a long time, the National League West had 3 of the best records in all of baseball.
Yeah. D-backs lead Colorado by 5 right now for that first National League wild card. Rockies hosting San Diego tonight. Tyler Anderson against former Rocky Jordan Lyles going for the Padres. Drury rolls that one into left field, a 1-out single.
Yeah, you may have noticed in our shot there, Buster Posey wanted to throw a fastball. Mad Bum shook him off to the slider and left it in the middle of the plate for Brandon Drury to ground through that left side.
Chance for Adam Rosales now. He grounded out his first time up tonight. Milwaukee, speaking of the National League wild card race, only 2.5 games behind the Rockies for the second wild card. They are playing the Marlins at Miller Park. Crawford shovel pass, panic, and they turn the double play. Brandon Crawford gets to another one, but the Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead. Is that the Giardelli? Yeah, it is.
Sure is.
Oh, we just had cake.
So?
Hey fans, it's the fight for postseason. Sign up now for your chance to buy D-backs postseason tickets online. Right now, dbacks.com/postseason. That's a staple here in San Francisco, of course. Joe Panik leads off the Giant fourth against Zach Greinke. Zach so far has given up only 1 hit. That was Panik's single. Back in the first, he's retired 8 straight since. Speaking of the postseason, we were talking about the wild card race a moment ago. D-backs 5 up on the Rockies. Rockies hosting the Padres tonight. The Brewers are hosting Miami as the visiting team at Miller Park. That game was moved to Milwaukee after the South Florida Hurricanes. Cardinals are now 4 games behind the Rockies. They lost to the Cubs at Wrigley 4-1. And the Brewers are trailing the Marlins 7-3. There you see Miami as the home team on the bottom there, even though they're playing at Miller Park. And the Cardinals 4-1 losers at Wrigley Field.
Carlos Gonzalez hit his 13th home run for the Rockies today. A 2-run blast spot them to a 7-0 lead.
Boy, Cargo's really heating up down the stretch. And Panic strikes out. A lot of strikeouts last night for the Giants. Last night was the 7th time in 13 games this month that they struck out at least 10 times.
I think any opponent would have punched out 10 times against Robbie Ray last night. Boy, was he dealing. Man, stuff was great last night.
Yeah, I heard Torrey talking before the game about Robbie Ray's ability when he needs that extra gear. And we noticed it last night, too, as he was finishing off his last 2 innings. When he needs that extra gear, he's got it in there. Parker, a strikeout victim his first time. Robbie was sensational. 7 innings, gave up only 1 earned run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. 1-1 on Parker. And now you hand the ball after Robbie last night over to Zach Greinke. Things are looking pretty good. Greinke unbeaten in his career in this ballpark, and he leads it 2-0. Fastball's a strike, 1-2. So the Dodgers won again. They beat Washington 3-2 at Nats Park. Cody Bellinger, his 38th home run. That ties the National League rookie record. So that 11-game losing streak seems to be in a rear-view mirror for the Dodgers. Sadly, they've got some of their swagger back. LA now 7 games ahead of Washington for the top spot in the National League and home field advantage throughout the National League playoffs. Rich Hill and 5 relievers combined on a 4-hitter.
Yeah, Torrey and his staff, at least according to reports I have from some of my staff. Now their basketball pickup game today over at the University of San Francisco. They're getting to play some really cool venues on the road.
They've done an excellent job. Yeah, that's become a one stop every road trip. The coaching staff plays a pickup basketball game, and some great spots. They played at Cal last time we were here. We were in Minnesota. They played at the Timberwolves practice facility, which was supposed to be amazing. They get to play in some pretty good college basketball venues. I think when we finish up the year in Kansas City, they're trying to line up a pickup game at Kansas, which would be a high water mark.
Yeah, they might still be mourning in Kansas by then.
I checked with Roger Riley, and you're off the hook.
Okay.
8th pitch of the at-bat right here. Jared Parker 3-2. Slow roller off the fister. He's got it. Yeah, I said to Roger in the clubhouse today, I said, Bob is hiding from you because apparently Ohio U, the Fighting House Cats, put a whooping on the Jayhawks today.
Yeah, they trounced them pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, it was Kansas' 2nd loss to a Mid-America Conference team already this year. Hey, you know, you schedule the House Cats, you get what you get.
That's right.
You know, they can't control that.
It was a bold move by Kansas to schedule that game, certainly. Posey 0 for 1. Roger, of course, a Kansas Jayhawk.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the room between the elevator and the ice machine when we get to San Diego.
Well, why change things now? A little tapper. Rosales has to charge it. Fires to first, and Zach Greinke has retired 11 straight Giants. We're through 4, 2-0 Diamondbacks.
To take a look at this day in Major League Baseball history, we've talked a lot about a 100-loss season in this series against the Giants. They're trying to avoid that. Well, back in 1942, the Phillies dropped a 4-1 decision to the Cubs to become the first Major League team to have 5 consecutive 100-loss seasons.
500 losses in 5 years. This guy's trying to go back in time to try and get a win, but check the flux capacitor on that one. Is he moving?
Not much.
Yeah, he's caught in a current. He's going to be out in the shipping lanes in a minute.
Well, nice try.
Floating DeLorean as we start the 5th. Christopher Negron in there against Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, that Phillies team that lost 100 games 5 consecutive years from 1938 to the end of the 1942 season. They played to a .299 winning percentage. Went through 3 managers.
Wow. Not a lot of happy days there.
No.
Negron was hit by a pitch right in the wallet his first time. Look. In there at shortstop tonight. Paul Goldschmidt, a 2-run home run in the first inning, his 35th of the year. All the scoring so far. Zach Greinke has very quietly and efficiently pitched an absolute gem here. 3 straight 1, 2, 3 innings. He's retired 11 consecutive Giants. Giants still have only 1 hit. Greinke so far through 4 innings, only at 50 pitches, 35 strikes. 2-2. Christopher Negron's defense at the shortstop spot impressed a lot of evaluators this year with Reno. A lot of talk around the Coast League that he was one of the better shortstops in the league this year. And so he's out there behind Zach Greinke tonight at shortstop. Ketel Marte has the night off. And we have just this month, since Chris has been up with the D-backs, seen him play shortstop and second base, first base, left field. It was like that in spring training. He's a valuable guy to have on your bench, Christopher Negron. Lifts this one pretty deep right center. Williamson's out there. Took a really unusual route to that one. Kind of circled and then circled back again. It got in that wind, but they retire Negron to start the 5th.
Yeah, ideally you run in a straight line to the spot where you think the ball's going to come down. That was more of a question mark.
Yes,
it wasn't really a straight line.
Zack Greinke really hammered a double into left his first time up. Hit the ball hard. There's another one. That's a fair ball headed for the corner. Greinke, who doubled in the second, doubles again here in the 5th. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, there's probably a dozen hitters in each dugout that are going, wait a minute, it's not that easy. Zack Greinke, 2 at bats, 2 line drive doubles down into the left field corner.
Yeah, those are not cheapies. Both those balls that Zack hit were harder than the one that A.J. Pollock hit down there in the 7th inning last night that scored 2 runs. So he's barreled it up twice against Mad Bum tonight. He's at second, 1 out for the leadoff man, David Peralta. 99 miles an hour off the bat that time. That one, Crawford goes to third. Greinke took off right away. He was right in front of Crawford. That ball was hit, went right through Zack. And they get the out at third.
Well, not great base running that time by Zack Greinke. You just hope he's okay. Ran into an easy out there at third base with a head first slide, extending his throwing arm out for the base.
Good Lord.
Yeah, watch his stumbling to the inside of the baseline, trying to avoid that Ryder Jones tag, and then reaching back with the right arm. Boy, you hold your breath, but everybody's smiling. He must be okay.
We need to talk after the game.
Yeah.
Let's not see that again. Chris Iannetta. Oh, they got Peralta hung up. He was going on first move. He came close, almost snuck in there. But he's out at second. So the Diamondbacks run into 2 outs on the bases in that inning. But they lead it 2-0. Third, and then David Peralta picked off trying to steal second, ends the top of the 5th. We start the home half and look ahead to tomorrow's CenturyLink. Gives us what's next, the series finale. Last time we'll see the Giants before next Monday at Chase Field. Taijuan Walker gets the baseball tomorrow against right-hander Chris Stratton. D-backs live pregame show comes your way at 12:30. First pitch at 1:05 here on Fox Sports Arizona. Well, Greinke has pitched to this point an absolute gem. He's given up only one hit. A single by Joe Panik in the first inning. Since then, he's retired 11 straight Giants. He's thrown only 50 pitches through 4 innings. 35 for strikes. And Brandon Crawford, who struck out to lead off the second, leads off the fifth. I got a stat for you.
Okay.
Bo's at the top of his game tonight. The Giants have one hit, a single. Zach Greinke has hit 2 doubles. And a Crawford 0-1. Way to go, Bo.
Nice going, Bo.
Stay hot. Lead off single. Pablo Sandoval. Make it 2 for 55 as he steps in here. 193 on the year. Sandoval, a switch hitter, just over 220 from the left side. That's where he's hit all 6 of his home runs this year. And it's a left-hand batter. Oh, 0-2. He still goes through his whole routine. Iannetta wants a word with Greinke now, but that became a trademark of the Panda during the glory days when he taps the bat against his toes, adjusts everything, the gloves, the helmet, the whole thing.
Given where the Giants are this season as a team, it's kind of surprising to me that Sandoval's getting any playing time at all right now.
Get a look at somebody else.
Yeah, if you got some youngsters in the organization and maybe you want to take a look at, you kind of know what Sandoval's all about when he's good, and you've seen what he's about when he's bad. So unless he's part of their plans moving forward, I don't really understand why he's getting as much playing time as he is.
Well, there was a nostalgia factor when they brought him back right after the All-Star break, but that seems to have worn off during a 2 for 55 slump. This is well hit left center. Peralta's over there, and David makes a nice sliding grab. Crawford hustles back to first. The freight train slides into the gap in left center.
Now, fortunately, that ball off the bat of a left-handed hitter, slicing a little bit back toward David Peralta in left field. Still had a long way to go and makes the catch, goes into a slide on that wet grass out there in right center, but Crawford can only retreat to first base, 1 down.
Make it 2 for 56 for the Panda. Here's Ryder Jones, the third baseman. You mentioned he's been striking out a whole bunch. He struck out his first time up tonight to end the second. On the ground to second. Long relay there for Drury. Goldie able to scoop the backhander. And they turn the double play. Zach Greinke through 5 with a 2-0 lead. San Francisco. D-backs lead the Giants 2-0. Hey fans, Coyotes hockey is back October 5 as they face off with the Ducks in Anaheim. That's brought to you by Amstel X-Lite. Coverage begins at 6:30. Coyotes live pregame show right here on Fox Sports Arizona and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Coyotes almost ready to get back in gear here. They got a new coach, Rick Tocchet. A lot of young players are excited about their season this year, as well they should be. Iannetta 0 for 2. He was the hitter when David Peralta was thrown out trying to steal second to win the 5th. First pitch swinging. Chris slices it out to right for Williamson. Mac Williamson is having a difficult time with that wind, which is still blowing and swirling in right center.
It seems appropriate that we're celebrating Orlando Cepeda's 80th birthday tomorrow. They used to call Orlando Cha-Cha because he would field balls in the outfield a lot like Mac Williamson did. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 3, 4, cha-cha-cha.
Step backward, forward, side to side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Mad Bum 60 pitches, 41 strikes. Ian Greinke locked up in a pitcher's duel. A.J. Pollock 0 for 2. Bumgarner has made the only mistake, if you want to call it that, a Goldie 2-run homer in the first. Goldie's 35th. That has been all the scoring. Diamondbacks with 5 hits, Giants with only 2. Backdoor breaking ball, 1-1. Crawford at shortstop. That's under the glove. There's one he didn't get to, and AJ is aboard.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
A base hit for A.J. Pollock. That'll bring up Paul Goldschmidt. Look at those numbers for Goldie. Those are MVP numbers.
I know that Torey Lovello and Dave Magadan and Paul Goldschmidt himself would like this to happen, but I'd love to see him just get red hot. I mean, 5 homers a week hot the rest of the way down the stretch.
5 homers a week?
Yeah, why not?
It seems like a lot, but yeah.
You know, go on one of those J.D. Martinez tears where every time you make contact, the ball leaves the stadium. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of the national media, a lot of the baseball geniuses out there are really trying to make cases for other players. And certainly there's a lot of great players out there, a lot of guys having MVP caliber seasons, but you don't have to work very hard to make a case for Goldie being the MVP.
It kind of speaks for itself. Right to Crawford. Well, I think when you've got someone who's the clear front runner, as Goldie is this year in the National League, especially if the Diamondbacks win the first wild card, you have a lot of contrarians out there that like to look at some analytics and say, hey, I've got the insight to say that this guy should be MVP because he had 7 triples in May.
He hit much better east of the Mississippi.
That's right, in the Central Time Zone. So everybody tries to be the contrarian vote, but Goldie seems to be the clear front runner. Although you could, I'm kind of only half kidding here, you could make an argument for J.D. Martinez for National League MVP with what he's done since his trade from Detroit. This is game number 50 for J.D. as a Diamondback, and he's got 23 home runs and 49 RBIs. And as he steps in here, 15 hits in his last 31 at bats, including 5 homers. The wind is blowing in the correct direction for him to get it into the cove. And with his power, the way he hits the ball to right center field, just needs to get, as Bob said, the right pitch. And he might be the first right-hander ever.
Well, he's just a little behind the Madison Bumgarner fastball tonight. Mad Bum doesn't throw as hard as he once did. Best fastballs between 90 and 93. Occasionally he'll jack it up a little higher than that, but JD's been late on 91 and 92.
JD hitting over 400 versus lefties this year, including 11 homers. Chased a high heater and strikes out. Bottom 6, 2-0 Diamondbacks. National League wild card race. Charlie Blackmon and the Rockies 5 games behind the Diamondbacks hosting the Padres. Blackmon dunks one down the left field line. Tyler Anderson started against Jordan Lyles in that one. Colorado on their way to a win. Addison Russell for the Cubs. They beat the Cardinals 4-1 at Wrigley. St. Louis 4 games behind the Rockies. Derek Dietrich off Zach Davies at Miller Park. The Brewers were only 2.5 back for a wild card spot, but the Marlins are causing some problems at Miller Park as Mac Williamson leads off the bottom of the 6th. That's a foul ball. T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. An updated look at the standings as the ball dude attends to that one. So it's 5 for the Diamondbacks over the Rockies. Brewers 3 back, Cardinals 4. That Rocky game is still going. It's 10-0 Colorado. They're in the 7th at Coors Field. So the Brewers lost and the Cardinals lost. 0-2 on Williamson.
Saw Addison Russell hit that pinch hit home run for the Cubs today. He's just back off the disabled list. He had some foot issues, and I'm sure they're glad to have him back in the lineup.
Rockies trying to apply all the pressure they can on the Diamondbacks after they split the 4-game series at Chase Field this week. Williamson grounded out his first time up. Zach Greinke so far 5 scoreless innings. He's given up only 2 hits, both singles. He's not walked a batter. He's got 4 strikeouts. At one point Zach retired 11 straight. Ahead of Williamson 0-2. .60 pitches, 44 for strikes. Missed inside there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zach Greinke unbeaten in this ballpark for his career. 4-0 in 6 starts at AT&T Park. A 1.66 ERA here. As we told you at the top of the show, Greinke and Bumgarner have started games against each other 4 times before, and Greinke's team has won every time, 4-0. Hard fastball there. He just did get a piece to stay alive. Bumgarner on deck. Denard Span, the leadoff man, after that. Diamondbacks have won 19 of their last 24 games. A win tonight, they'd be 25 over 500, a season high. It would also match a franchise record with 9 straight road wins, set in August of '02 under manager Bob Brenly. Bouncing ball to shortstop, Negron. High throw, he throws it away. Into the camera well. Negron in there for his defense tonight. They had very good reports on him defensively as a shortstop with Reno this year, but he threw that one well over the head of Goldie at first.
Yeah, it just looked like he didn't get a good grip on that baseball. Nice play coming in to field that one on a short hop, smother it right there, but yeah, apparently didn't have any seams or got underneath the ball. That one really sailed over the head of Paul Goldschmidt.
Right by the camera. 2-0 game. Hopefully that does not come back to bite the Diamondbacks. And the hitter is Madison Bumgarner, E6. That almost hit Pete down there. Can check his swing. 0-1.
Yeah, Bumgarner did the same thing in his first at bat. He's looking to ambush the first fastball he sees from Zach Greinke, and he anticipated it on the first pitch in both of his at bats and flailed at a breaking ball.
Holds off on that breaking ball. It's a ball and a strike. Giants have lost 3 straight games, 15 of their last 20. Last place in the National League West. Bumgarner blasts one toward the left field corner, but that hook's foul. Sounded like he broke his bat.
I think you're right. Yeah. He just got out in front a little bit. It looked good coming off the bat, but was hooking immediately after the point of contact. Easily went into foul territory.
Tying runs at the plate. No outs here in the 6th. Got him. 5 strikeouts for Greinke, 1 down.
Steady diet of breaking balls to a dangerous pitcher when he's at the plate. Yeah, Mad Bum just, as I said earlier, looking to ambush fastballs, and Zach Greinke just refused to give him one where he could hit it.
Leadoff man Denard Span 0 for 2. Mac Williamson at second, 1 out. Fastball down and away, strike 1.
You know, it looks like Denard Span has softened up that little drop that he used to have. You know, he stands with that right foot pointed back toward the catcher and a little bit upright in the batter's box. And then as Greinke gets ready to deliver, he kind of drops down into his hitting position. It used to be a very exaggerated movement, a little bit smoother right now. Kind of like David Peralta. Remember how David used to pop his bat up into an upright position? And then he realized that that was putting too much stress, too much pressure on his wrists and his forearms. So he really softened up that prep with the bat.
I like Denard Span's socks. That's my contribution to the scouting report. He's got the Golden Gate Bridge on his socks. Yeah, Peralta had to stop doing that after that wrist surgery.
Yeah.
1-2 on Span.
You know, if those socks were realistic, they'd have a bunch of red lights along the bridge there where you're stuck in traffic.
And every time you wore them, you'd be 20 minutes late to wherever you were going.
That's a good look, though. I like that they came up with something that's specific to the team here.
Yeah. Missed away with a fastball, 2-2. Joe Paddock, who has one of the 2 Giants hits, a first inning single, is on deck. Reaches out and pokes it to third. Rosales, slow throw. Goldie able to scoop that one. 2 outs in the 6th. Span 0 for 3. Here's Paddock. Joe Paddock singled in the first. He struck out his last time up. Paddock on the DL in the middle of last month, a concussion. Came back August 25th, and in 20 games since he's returned, he's hit almost 380, so he's been really hot up there. Williamson at second and 2 outs. He's the first Giant to get to second base all night long against Greinke. And that's only because of a Christopher Negron throwing error.
It's one of those pitches Zach Greinke wanted to throw that hard changeup close enough to the strike zone to get Paddock to think it was a first pitch fastball and swing at it. Just dipped out of the strike zone a little bit too far, and Zach very upset with himself for not making a better first pitch with that changeup. Goes right back to it again, figuring, hey, if you're a first ball fastball hitter and the count's 1-0, you're still a first ball fastball hitter.
You can see the frustration on his face right there. He's fallen behind 2-0. .75 pitches, 52 strikes. No walks. He has struck out 5. Now he's behind 3 balls and no strikes. Breaking ball missed there.
Usually when you see a 2-0 breaking ball, it's an indication that the pitcher and catcher don't really care if they walk this guy. They feel like perhaps they have a better chance of getting Jarrett Parker to swing at something bad out of the zone and get that 3rd out of the inning. But Joe Paddock, as we've talked about throughout this series, the hottest Giants hitter.
Well, Greinke in only his second 3-ball count all night falls behind and concedes on Paddock, and they'll work to Parker. First walk of the series for either team.
How about that?
Yeah, no walks last night. Robbie Ray and Jeff Samardzija. So here we go. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. Williamson at second and Paddock at first. Parker has struck out, grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Breaking ball 0-1. He steals the strike. Parker does have power. He homered Sunday at the White Sox, then again Monday here against the Dodgers. long as you don't hang it, that would appear to be the pitch to throw to Jared Parker. Any kind of slow breaking ball. He's the guy that strikes out a whole bunch. Oh, and 2. 2 on and 2 out. Lays off that time. That walk to panic was the first walk issued by a Diamondback starting pitcher since Wednesday. They had gone 22 innings, the Diamondback starters, without issuing a base on balls. 80 pitches, 54 strikes, 1 and 2 on Parker. Did he go? Yes, he did, Doug Eddings. Greinke picks up his defender behind him, strands 2, strikes out Parker. He's worked 6 scoreless and leads it 2-0. And just a stroll around the ballpark.
Beautiful.
Lovely night here at AT&T Park. Fan Appreciation Day is coming up at Chase Field. Next Sunday, September 24th, you can win great prizes all game long. And stick around after the game to run the bases. D-backs and the Marlins. Giancarlo Stanton will be here. That starts at 1:10 next Sunday, September 24th. Fan Appreciation Day. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Brandon Drury leads off the 7th as they finish up the kiss cam here. I guess they're in a romantic mood.
Doobie doobie doo. Strangers in the night.
Well, another game with no runs for Madison Bumgarner. D-backs lead at 2-0. Drury singled his last time up. That's kind of the way things have gone this year for Mad Bum. His trouble, much of it has been lack of run support. Giants have scored a total of only 6 runs in his last 4 starts and nothing so far tonight. Drury slices this one toward the corner and that drops in fair. It's off the wall. Brandon Drury, that's double number 35. He's 2 for 3.
Slicing line drive down into that corner, went down and got a fastball that was actually on the inner third of the plate. Keeps his hands inside the ball. You got to love that. Just fair down into the corner. By the time Williamson tracks it down, Brandon Drury's on with his 35th double of the season.
Leadoff man in scoring position. Here's Adam Rosales. Adam 0 for 2. He has twice grounded out. They appeal to first. And yes, he touched the base, says Pat Hoberg over there. Mentioning Madison Bumgarner's lack of run support, he has received 2 runs or fewer in 11 of his 15 starts this year. And he trails this one 2-0. Giants have only 2 hits through the first 6 innings. Even Mad Bum can't overcome something like that.
Yeah.
Giants are 3-12 when Madison Bumgarner starts a game this year.
Boy, that is really tough to figure. Obviously one of the best pitchers when he's on the mound, but also one of those pitchers that helps himself at the plate.
Yeah.
Fields his position, does a lot of things well, but yeah, if you don't get any runs, there's not much you can do about it unless you hit the home run.
Which sometimes he does. Since he came off the DL, he is 3-5 at 11 starts. Missed 3 months after the dirt bike accident back in April. Behind on Rosales, 2-0. Missed with another one. 3 balls and no strikes. The shortstop Negron on deck, and Zach Greinke's spot is behind him. Greinke right now is at 81 pitches for the ball game through 6 innings. Here's a 3-0 strike. Zach has got the batting helmet on. The way he's pitching, I'm not taking him out of the game.
No.
So far a 2-hit shutout through 6. He has walked 1, struck out 6.
And other than Paul Goldschmidt, he's been the best offensive weapon in the game so far.
There is that. 2 doubles. We'll count now on Rosales, 3-2. In fact, Pat O'Connell of the Diamondbacks, it tells us that Zach Greinke is just the 3rd Diamondbacks pitcher ever with at least 2 extra base hits in 1 game. Dan Herron and Micah Owens, the other 2. Right to Crawford. Careful, Brandon Drury. Brandon kind of in no man's land there. The ball was hit right at him. They retire Rosales for the first out.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Well, they will let Negron hit here. He is 2 for 14 this year. He's been hit by a pitch and flied out. Greinke is in the on-deck circle. A number of different ways you could go if you wanted a pinch hit here. And we'll see what Christopher can do. Drury at second, 1 out. There's a ball.
Yeah, really only 2 right-handed bats available off the bench for Torrey. J.R. Murphy and Christian Walker. He does have a couple of switch hitters available as well in Marte and Vargas, but everybody else on the bench tonight hits from the left side with Madison Bumgarner starting for the Giants.
Checks on a high fastball, and it's 2-0. Negron up for the minors with September roster expansion. Hit 300 at Reno this year. 13 home runs. Brandon Drury at second, 1 out. Bumgarner at 80 pitches, 54 for strikes. Missed inside, 3-0. Greinke with a pair of doubles, both balls very well hit, will be next. Full count, 3-2. Back-to-back 3-2 counts here for the D-backs against Madison Bumgarner.
Bumgarner sitting at 83 pitches right now here in the top of the 7th inning. Be really nice to extend him, try to get up to that 100 pitch mark here in the 7th, and at least make Bruce Bochy's decision a little tougher. That's one way to do it. Just keep fouling off those borderline pitches.
Got to get rid of that baseball.
Bumped into some of those sharp air molecules.
Molecules. Yeah, they'll get you. Like our former director, Phil Molecule. One more time on 3-2 to Christopher Negron. Drury at second, 1 out. He walked him. Good at bat there by Chris. And here comes Greinke, who was doubled twice. First walk issued for Mad Bum. Sorry, bud.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Zach Greinke tonight at the plate. Ripped a double into left field. Took a great play by Jared Parker to keep that ball from going to the wall for an RBI, and then comes back up in his second at bat, does nearly the same thing.
It's Greinke's second ever game with multiple extra base hits. The other one was in September of 2014, coincidentally, not ironically, right here at AT&T Park. So he pitches very well here. He hits pretty well too. 2 on and 1 out. Zach really looked that one into the glove. It's 0-1. Corey Guerin will start to warm up in the Giant bullpen as Mad Bum approaches 90 pitches. Takes a cut at a high fastball. He's down 0-2. David Peralta on deck. Drury at second, Negron at first. Well, you wanted the pitch count up there.
Yeah, I like it.
Creeping up. Peralta singled and scored to lead off the ball game. Came into the Goldie home run. That's been all the scoring so far. First inning. Zach immediately appeals to first, where Pat Hoberg says no. He was the first one to point down there.
Well, Zach's pretty sure that he checked there. That's the only reason I can think of to point down to the first base umpire and say check it.
2-2. Out of play.
And keep going right up there to the top of the zone, trying to get Zach to chase a pitch up above the top of the zone. Hey, just able to get a piece that time.
90 pitches, 60 strikes for Madison Bumgarner. He has walked 1, struck out 4. This is about to be his 21st pitch of this 7th inning, his most in any inning tonight. D-backs with 2 runs on 7 hits. Can't hold up on that breaking ball in the dirt, and Bumgarner gets his 5th strikeout.
Couldn't get Zach to chase that high fastball, so he went back to his second favorite wipeout pitch, that hard slider down and in. And Zach could not check that time and didn't ask for an appeal.
It's up to David Peralta. 2 on, 2 out. David 1 for 3, singled in the first. And he's hitting .250 against lefties this year, 2 home runs. Peralta 0 for 4 from the leadoff spot last night, after a couple of 2-hit games in the Rockies series at Chase Field. Where that wind is really gusting now out to right center, out toward McCovey Cove. David more often than not will go the other way toward left center field, but this would be a good time to get it up in that wind right now. We've seen Williamson take some unusual routes to the balls in right center. Was the tower there right under the whiskers? 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that Rockies Padres games that turned into a full-fledged blowout. 16-0 Rockies. We showed you a Charlie Blackmon RBI double earlier on our highlights. He also went deep in the ball game, as well as Pat Valleca.
16-0. That ballpark will take years off your life. Three and 1 on Peralta. Tried to get it up into that wind. Swing and a miss. It's full 3 and 2. Ionetta on deck. Well, we almost got him to 100 in the inning. 2 on, 2 out, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 in the 7th. There go the runners. Struck him out. Bumgarner strands 2. We stretch in San Francisco. 2-0 D-backs.
Seven.
With conviction.
7. That better?
Do you know how to do the? When I was a kid, it was pretty simple, but now it's like there's wild card teams and it's like a full-blown math class. Do you know how to break it down?
No, honestly, I just look at the board, see what time the bus is next morning, and show up. It's not going to matter what we got to do. It's just be at the field, do a job.
That is the one and only Andrew Chafin as we bring you back to AT&T Park in San Francisco. Bob Brennan showed a longer version of that answer on D-Backs Live, the pregame show, as we start this inning. And there is it called first strike here in the bottom of the 7th. And I love what he said. I basically come here when I am told, and it's just now down to inning by inning, pitch by pitch, and that seems to be the singular focus, Steve, with this team right now.
Well, you were right, Todd. It was a heck of a lot easier when there was two teams in the same division, and any combination of Red Sox wins and Yankees losses,
or vice versa. Yeah.
Well, that never happened. But I mean, if it adds up to a certain number, and that's what you need to clinch in the whole thing. But now you got wild card teams. You got 2 teams in the NL Central, a couple of teams in the NL West, divisions, wild cards, and it has literally taken a team of mathematicians to actually figure out down at the MLB office what it is.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that, like, we talked to Tori about it last night after the game and even before the game again today, that this group, they know something is happening. They sense it. They feel it. They control that destiny in their hands, essentially. But no one's running around spewing it. And that's, I think, one of the hallmarks of this team all year, really.
Yeah, Tori has said, in fact, he told us this in his office today, you can get distracted by a lot of the noise in the game this time of year. But that has not happened with his ball club as they approach the finish line, which has been great to see. 3-1 on Buster Posey. Make it 3-2 as we start the home half of the 7th. Zach Greinke back out there. At just under 90 pitches.
I would always like it when the Red Sox would lose in Seattle in like late August and the Yankees would win against the Angels in late August, and I'd have to wait until I woke up in the morning and got the morning paper to see if the Yankees had taken a couple of games off the magic number. In my world.
Called strike 3. Rings up Posey. 7 strikeouts for Greinke. Well, for me, the number is 5. They're 5 ahead of the Rockies for the first wild card spot. That's what I'm focused on right there.
I break it down even simpler than that. The magic number is 1.
Yep.
The game today. Yeah, that's the reality. The Diamondbacks just take care of their own business. It makes no difference what everybody behind them in that wild card race does.
You know what, though, guys, when this game gets even later, I hope we get a chance to peer into the Diamondback dugout with the expanded roster and no bullpen, essentially, where everyone is on the top step. I tweeted a picture late last night in the 9th inning of what it is like around here. We talked a little bit about it in game.
It's crowded. I can tell you what it's like.
It's crowded, and there's a great new energy. There's no room at the top step.
Well, just be thankful we don't have a road trip to Wrigley Field with expanded rosters.
Oh, man.
You'd have to shower and put your uniform on in shifts.
Well, you had to do that at some places, didn't you?
Yeah. You get those expanded rosters, and sometimes they set up temporary lockers out in the hallway or the auxiliary locker room. You don't even feel like you're part of the team. You don't even dress with the team. You're in another room all by yourself.
Zach Greinke, 90 pitches, 59 strikes. He has given up only 2 hits. We've talked about the starting pitching, and Torrey's been very consistent with that since the first day. It starts and ends with the starting pitchers. They set the tone. If they win, it's going to be largely due to that. And well, the starting pitching lately has been phenomenal. Robbie Ray last night. Greinke backing that up again tonight. He's walked 1. He struck out 7. He's given up just 2 singles through 6 scoreless.
Yeah, it's like the starting rotation is trying to top each other every day. Can you beat that? Well, I'll go out and give it a shot. And Robbie Ray goes out and punches out 10 or 12. And then Zach Greinke comes back the next day and shuts out the opposition on a couple of hits. Taijuan Walker goes out and punches out a bunch of guys. He gets a win. Nobody wants to be the weak link in that rotation right now.
2-2. Got him. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Greinke. Some high heat to Crawford.
That ball is shoulder high to Brandon Crawford.
Two down for Sandoval, who's 0 for 2. Yeah, Diamondbacks starting pitchers in the last 7 games are 4-0 with a 1.89 ERA. And Greinke 1 out away from 7 scoreless here tonight. He has struck out Parker, Posey, and Crawford all in a row. Ahead of Sandoval, 0-1. Zach Greinke 4-0 in 6 career starts in this ballpark. An ERA here of 1.66. Center field, Pollock backing up. AJ at the track, and he's got it. Zach Greinke, 7 scoreless innings of 2-hit ball in San Francisco. 2-0 D-backs. Francisco. Zach Greinke has been sensational. Goldie a 2-run home run in the first inning. All the scoring so far. A fans 2018 D-backs schedule is out and available right now at dbacks.com. You can check out some of the holidays. Diamondbacks are home for a bunch of holidays next year. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day, Cinco de Mayo. Get to all the games next year. Season tickets. We'll see you down there. You can pick your own season plan. You can go full, half. Pick different series. Get a weekend season ticket plan. Design your own. They'll take you around the ballpark and you can check out different seats, check out the angles, figure out where you'd like to sit, and become a Diamondback season ticket holder in 2018. Visit dbacks.com, see the schedule, and learn all about Diamondback season tickets. Archie Bradley makes his way down to the Diamondback bullpen as Corey Guerin appears from the Giant bullpen to start the 8th inning. He's had a good year. That 2.14 ERA, 9th best in the National League. His 62nd appearance. Chris Iannetta leads it off.
That's about how long he takes between pitches. 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
He's like the Pedro Baez of the Giants.
He just kind of stands there and hypnotizes himself, staring at Buster Posey's target.
Well, there's been a lot of talk that Major League Baseball and Commissioner Rob Manfred making a lot of progress over the course of this season with the Players Union on some issues that may get addressed this winter in time for next year. And a pitch clock is on the list. Now, I don't know where they are with that. You can read varying reports, but it seems to be a topic of discussion between the players and the owners. And if they get a pitch clock, guys like Pedro Baez and Corey Guerin, they're going to have to speed things up.
Now,
or whenever you're ready. It's funny, Corey Guerin, Bob, does not seem to be leaning against the wall like he used to. Not as much as that one gets Buster Posey back there. He used to lean and almost sort of tilt over.
Yeah, he looked like most Cub fans after a day game at Wrigley.
Hello.
You know, just kind of wobbling back and forth a little bit as he went into his set position out there on the mound. He's eliminated a lot of that wobbling that he had earlier this season.
Our man Bo is timing him here. So far 23 seconds and 25 seconds to deliver his last 2 pitches.
And with nobody on base and the batter in a ready position in the box, it's supposed to be 12 seconds between pitches.
And Winevs. Chris reaches out, pops it to Panic at second. Iannetta 0 for 4, 1 down. Here's AJ, singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Archie Bradley warming up for the Diamondbacks. Giants in the bottom of this inning will have the lower third of the order due up. Ryder Jones, Mac Williamson, and then the pitcher's spot. And then if things stay the way they are, expect to see Fernando Rodney in the ninth. Rodney last night got his 37th save. He's only 2 shy of 300 for the career. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. There's Mike Fetters, the bullpen coach, and Archie Bradley. Fett looks a little chilly down there. Everybody behind him, blankets and hats, jackets, scarves.
Just a typical midsummer day here in San Francisco.
Glorious. 0-2.
When I played for the Giants, we actually were issued parkas at the beginning of the season for the guys in the bullpen, because back then it was just a bench hanging off the bleachers out in right field. You were exposed to all the elements. So yeah, we were all issued parkas with hoods on them and big thick fur lined pockets just to try to battle the elements.
That was like being sent out to Castle Black on the Night's Watch back in the day when you were in the bullpen in Candlestick. You were the last line of defense on the frontier. Freezing up there. AJ strikes out. 2 down. Well, all the offense tonight came in the first inning off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt, a 2-run homer. After Peralta had singled to lead off the game, Goldie's 35th. And that has been it. D-backs 2 runs, 7 hits. Giants no runs on 2 hits. A little late on that fastball, 0-1.
One of the things that makes Corey Guerin effective, other than his incredibly slow pace, is that arm angle. He really drops down low 3/4, almost sidearm at times. He'll get some big sweeping action on that slider. At other times he'll have a higher arm angle and get more downward movement on the slider.
Tough on righties, right-hand batters against Guerin, just 2 for their last 28. Took something off, 1-2. J.D. Martinez pacing in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance. Archie Bradley ready in the bullpen. One and 2 to Goldie. Anytime you're ready. Got him. Well, it works for Guerin's been working all year. Are you ready for Hollywood? Here he comes. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Greinke is back out there to start the bottom of the 8th inning at 95 pitches. Lower third of the Giant order due up. Archie Bradley was ready in the bullpen. He's still warming up down there. And there's Greinke. He has been outstanding tonight. 7 scoreless, only 2 hits. He's got 8 strikeouts.
I think because it is the bottom of the Giants order, that's part of the reason that Greinke back out there to start this 8th inning. This could be one of those deals he made with Torrey. If anybody gets on, I'm going to come get you.
As dominant as he has been, it's only a 2-0 lead. So Torrey not taking any chances. Shift is on for Ryder Jones. 3 infielders on the right hand side. Jones 2 for his last 22 up there. A ball and a strike. Negron, the shortstop, way over in front of second base umpire Jim Reynolds out there. And Drury on the outfield grass in right. Goldie back on the edge of the grass. Rosales all by himself midway between second and third. Bounces one right to Drury. That's why he's there.
And I really think the speed of the runner at the plate will determine how deep you can play in that exaggerated pull shift. Some guys that can get down that line, you might have to play right at the cut of the grass. Other guys that are a little slower, you can back up into shallow right field.
Mac Williamson. He has grounded out, reached on an error. Pitcher spot behind him, and Nick Hundley, who got the start behind the plate last night, is in the on deck circle. He would hit for Corey Guerin. Williamson only 20 games with the Giants this year. He's been absent for several extended stretches, up and down 3 times from the minors. Ben May cleaning off home plate. Williamson wound up playing nearly 100 games at AAA Sacramento this year. Hit just .244 in the Coast League. 2-0. Bradley is ready in the bullpen. He's just standing down there watching with Mike Fetters. Sam Dyson warming up in the Giant pen. Buckled him that time. Dropped it in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
They don't do that in the Coast League.
Nope.
Rolled 2-0 curveballs up there for called strikes.
Archie is ready. Zach over 100 pitches now. Last night we saw Robbie Ray throw 101 pitches to get through 7. Bradley a 1-2-3 8th. Rodney a 1-2-3 9th. High in the air, short right. JD coming in. Drury calling for it. 2 down. Giants have not had a base hit since Brandon Crawford singled to lead off the 5th. And Hundley will hit for Corey Guerin. Nick Hundley, 253, 8 home runs. 0 for 4 last night. He struck out twice.
Now, we mentioned earlier that Torey Lovullo has a lot of left-handed bats available off the bench. It's exactly the opposite for Bruce Bochy. All right-handed hitters available off the bench tonight.
Zach Greinke's season high is 111 pitches. That came last month against these Giants.
Diamondbacks have 2 complete games on the season. One of those was Zach Greinke in San Diego in a losing effort. Robbie Ray had the other complete game.
That was that game that Eric Ibar hit that home run in the 8th inning. Broke up a scoreless tie. That one missed. 2-0. Span, the leadoff man, on deck. There's Dyson in the Giant bullpen. Mark Gardner, the bullpen coach down there. Archie just standing and watching in the Diamondback bullpen. Breaking ball missed. No, he didn't go, says Pat Hoberg. It's 3-0 on Hundley. This is well hit, but foul down the left field line. Hundley always dangerous, especially against the Diamondbacks for some reason. 90 career games, just over 90 career games against the D-backs. He's got 51 RBIs. Popped him up. Goldie coming in. Fighting that wind. He's got it. Zach Greinke, 8 scoreless innings. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Our Gila River game summary. Goldie's 2-run home run in the first inning has been all the scoring so far. Zach Greinke has been simply sensational. 8 scoreless innings. He's given up only 2 hits, both singles. Walked 1, struck out 8. He's retired the last 7 he's faced to get us to the 9th, where J.D. Martinez will lead it off against the new Giants pitcher. It's the new closer, the right-hander Sam Dyson. His 50th appearance of the year, acquired from Texas in early June after his season started out as a disaster with the Rangers, but he's been pretty good as the new closer, filling in for the injured Mark Melancon. 13 for 14 in save chances since he started closing games July 1st.
Almost as many walks as strikeouts for Sam Dyson. He'll feature 3 different fastballs, a 4-seamer, a sinker, a cutter. Also throws a straight changeup, has a slider, but doesn't use it very much.
Archie Bradley sitting down now. They didn't have to use him. Fernando Rodney warming up as Greinke turns in 8 scoreless innings tonight. JD 0 for 3. Big cut of the first pitch fastball, and it's 0-1. Martinez has had a base hit and an RBI in 7 straight games. But so far nothing tonight after a neck injury caused him to be a late scratch last night. Neck stiffness, not really a neck injury, just a little sore. Didn't want to exasperate the situation with a cold weather last night. It's hard hit to shortstop, backhanded by Crawford. Bobbles, recovers. Nice stretch by the Panda down there. They get Martinez.
Well, unfortunately for JD, that ball was hit so hard. Crawford had the opportunity to regroup after just knocking it down into the grass. Fires it across the diamond just in time to get JD at first base.
A Panda down there at first. One out for Drury, who has singled and doubled tonight. 2 for 3. Giants in the bottom half of this inning will have the top of the order due up. Span, Panic, and Parker. Archie got hot down there in the bullpen, did not get into the game, and now Rodney, who got his 37th save last night through 15 pitches, getting it cranked up down there to work the bottom of the ninth. Diamondbacks looking to tie a franchise record with their 9th straight road win tonight. They would also clinch a season series victory over the Giants. Right now they lead that 9-5. They would also get to a season high 25 games over 500 and keep that gap over the Rockies for the first wild card. At 5 games, Colorado just beat up the Padres tonight at Coors Field. They might have run out of numbers for the scoreboard over there. Bouncer to second for Panic. 2 outs. Rosales goes back to the dugout. His spot is due up. Daniel Descalso will hit. Descalso had a pair of hits last night, including an RBI triple. Also singled and scored a run. He's hit safely in his last 5 starts. 248, 10 home runs. Those 10 homers a career high for Daniel.
Easy switch here for Torey Lovullo. Pulled the plug on Adam Rosales, who did a real nice job down at third base tonight. Go to your left-handed hitter in Daniel Descalso. I'm sure they'll just plug him in at third base to finish out this ball game.
Descalso 6 for 24 as a pinch hitter this year. That's a .250 batting average. A couple of home runs. Yeah, Adam was busy down there defensively tonight. Excuse me, check swing Tapper in front of the plate. Posey's on it. And that's the inning. Fernando Rodney, save number 37 last night. Can he make it 38 tonight? Standing tonight, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool plays of the game. 8 shutout innings for Greinke. Only 2 hits allowed, both singles. He walked 1, struck out 8, retired the last 7 he faced.
Just a great game plan and the ability to execute that game plan against this Giants offense. You saw some elevated fastballs when that was the pitch that was called for. He bounced some breaking balls. That hard changeup was working for him all night. Just another tremendous outing by a D-backs starter.
How about 107 pitches for Greinke, 70 for strikes. And now here is Fernando Rodney, only 2 saves shy of 300 for his career. He got his 37th of the season here last night in a 1-2-3 ninth, throwing only 15 pitches. And he'll face the top of the Giant order, bottom 9 with a 2-0 lead. Denard Span leads it off. He's 0 for 3. Daniel Descalso does indeed stay in the game and take over at third for Adam Rosales. Rodney would become, not tonight, but who knows, maybe tomorrow, only the 28th player ever with 300 career saves. He's 2 shy right now. He has converted 16 of his last 17 save opportunities. Greinke tonight tying his longest outing of the season, 8 innings. Squib shot to shortstop. Negron. 1 away. Todd Wall standing by. Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink. The post-game show follows our ball game. Joe Panik, the hitter. Diamondbacks trying to get to a season high 25 games over 500. And tie a franchise record with 9 straight road wins set back under the Brenly regime in August of '02. Panik has been hot lately. He has singled and walked tonight. He had 2 base hits last night. Colorado has won. They beat the Padres 16-0 at Coors Field. Rockies had 16 runs, 17 hits. Padres no runs, 3 hits. How are we looking? So a win here would keep the D-backs lead over Colorado for that right to host the National League wild card at 5 games. Tomorrow is game number 150 of 162. 3-1 on Panik. Jared Parker 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts on deck. Popped up third base side. Negron calling for it. He gives way to Peralta. 2 down.
Good communication there. Pop-up priorities. Everybody goes after it. The third baseman has the first crack at it. He was called off by the shortstop Christopher Negron, and he was called off by the left fielder David Peralta. Chain of command.
Last man standing is Parker, the left fielder. On the ground to second. Drury is there. And there goes the arrow. Another Another one for Fernando Rodney, his 38th. The D-backs in a little over 2.5 hours beat the Giants 2-0. Diamondbacks have won 20 of their last 25 games, and they tie a franchise record with their 9th straight road win.
And another X on the calendar. Diamondbacks just continue to roll along behind tremendous starting pitching. That has set the tone for every game the Diamondbacks have played recently.
Zach Greinke outstanding. He wins his 17th. Rodney saves his 38th. 2-0 D-backs win. Back with more from AT&T Park right after this.